A group of young Christian missionaries had gone to share the gospel with the Indigenous Mangyan people on the island of Mindoro in the Philippines. The Mangyan people were an isolated group who were not educated and lived in a remote area. They were worried about strangers taking advantage of them because they had limited resources and knowledge. This made them very cautious. Some of the young Christian missionaries went to this island and asked the villagers if they could teach their children. The elders of the village allowed them to teach, but not talk to the children about God, saying they wanted to preserve their own religion and traditions. The young missionaries started teaching, and after a while, the village youth started seeing the lives of the missionaries and were inspired by them. Hence, they wanted to be Christians. So they finally went to the missionaries and asked if they could baptize them. However, they couldn't just go out and baptize the young inspired Mangyan children due to the restrictions from the villagers, as it would cause quite a stir. But the missionaries agreed and decided to baptize them at night. One day, they set out to the river for the baptism, but unfortunately, it didn't remain a secret anymore, and they got caught baptizing them. They were brought to the village elders, and it was decided that the missionaries were to be punished. The punishment was to be tied by their feet to a log and deprived of food and water. After an hour or so, the log was to be pulled higher, and they would soon be hanging upside down for more than 24 hours. The young missionaries were put into the wooden torture devices and tied up. While they were receiving their punishment, all of a sudden, an old man who resembled the villagers came to the place they had been tied up. After staring at them, he said to the villagers on guard, "Let these children down. They've done nothing wrong." Then he went on his way until he disappeared. In the culture of the Mangyan, the old people are highly respected, so the young Christian missionaries were set free. But later, they learned that the man who had ordered their release had never been seen before or after in that small village. The missionaries testified that it must have been an angel, in the form of an old villager man, who came to their rescue. There was one particular missionary, a little girl. She said she wasn't afraid because God is always with me. Thank you for listening to the end. To receive more true stories beyond the natural, make sure to subscribe, like, and share.